Alright, so this is my first time trying to do it in this format, but I'm trying to do a show and tell video about a project I just completed. And rather than having the camera face me, I'm shooting this on my phone at my little cutting mat. Hopefully this is pleasing to watch and comes out in good quality. So the project that I recently finished was a gift for a friend, David White, who goes by Mechazone online. I made a 3D printed 3D printed figure, and this is my first time having an articulated figure. So his arms go up and down, head turns, and legs move independently. And how this is accomplished is, if I pop this apart, oops, let's get it in focus there. It's through the use of these neodymium magnets, which you can get at hobby stores, or presumably you can just order them on Amazon. And so each joint is a pair. Something that I did not think about when I was assembling this, but had to learn to pay attention to is magnets have poles. So, if let's see if this will happen. If I had the wrong orientation on a magnet, they would actually, I think it's happening here. They'd actually like repel in weird ways. So I ended up like pulling out the joints and re-gluing them several times on this guy because I goofed up the orientation on the magnets. So this is the one that I intend as a gift. The sculpt is based on his, Mechazone's, I guess this is technically the V2 or maybe V3 body Mechanaut. This is the Explorer. I think this was released back in possibly in 2016. But this guy is far more complex engineering. His faceplate closes here. He's got double jointed knees. So this guy is a highly sophisticated 6-inch action figure. I'm not there yet. I've just been making resin heads up until this point. So this is my first foray into articulation. And actually this is an iteration on a previous rough draft, which was this little guy. Let's see if we can get him in the light a little bit. So this one actually has some cannibalized hexagear joints, which are plastic model kits. And so I cut a model sprue for the crossbar here, which runs through the pelvis, and am using the hexagear joints like essentially like washers to provide a snug fit. And so those little joints that are in the hips are made of I think of a PVC plastic. They're a softer plastic, so they kind of end up a little bit more snug, rather than a harder plastic, like I think this is printed out of ABS filament. But again, it does have the magnets in the shoulders. And wow, this is not focusing. And if I pop off his head here, that's magnet. And so this little guy I painted up in a colorway that's a tribute to this die-cast Godaikin robot piece. I think this guy is from Dynaman. And here's another little version of Dynaman that I got, or the Dynarobo maybe. I think it's like a Power Ranger series in Japan, so it's a Super Sentai series. So here's a little one that I got that's like a little prize figure from Japan. But that was the color inspiration behind this guy. Whereas I knew that Mechazone is really into the original Microman line, and so I tried to base this off sort of a more Microman colorway with the white gloves and boots, and then a base green. And for this one, which is the gift, I actually made a little custom blister card. Let's see again if I can clear out some space here such that it actually displays on camera. So I took this blister card actually from a Toy Pizza figure. It's a resealable blister card. Presumably you can order these somewhere online. And I cut out one of these little standees that Mechazone used to hand out with his figures. And then on the back here, here's a picture of the two of us. This is actually back at the release party for the Mechanon Explorer, this guy, which was sort of the debut of this sort of improved engineering design with like the hyper articulation. The V1 Mechanon was actually this design. This is a miniaturized version that was released at the first Toy Pizza Con. But this guy has, you know, ball jointed shoulders, swivel head, swivel torso, hips, but he's got the single jointed knee and elbow. And these are all straight. Or I guess most the knees and elbows and neck are all you know, peg joints. They're peg and holes. And then it's just the shoulders and hips that are ball joints, whereas the Explorer here has like almost a spine. He's got a ball joint in his like rib cage. His head is actually ball jointed. You can look up a little bit there. He's got these really fancy like universal joint shoulders where it can swing outwards and then rotate. He's got these, you know, I guess that's a single joint there, but then that's rotates. He's got double jointed knees, so really highly complicated, highly articulated figure. So it was really cool to like be there when he released this and like get it from him in person. And so, you know, through my own art, I've kind of always aspired to, you know, the stuff that he does. And so I had even done like a fan comic at one point as just a way to practice drawing my comics myself. I had never done a, or I guess that's not true. I hadn't drawn comics basically since I was a kid. So I had done this back in like, I don't know. I think this is like 2018 or something. But, you know, trying to do a 24-page color comic. And so now I am seeking to further follow in his footsteps and, you know, make my own articulated action figures. So this was just mostly a learning exercise for me, and a gift for him. And then I hope to kind of apply this engineering exercise to future projects. I guess the other thing it was, that I practiced on this was trying to work on my paint skills a little bit. So using stuff like these various airbrush paints, which are pre-thinned acrylics. So like this is for the green of this guy. I really like this color, or this paint. This is a Vallejo Mecha Color Metallic Blue. So that was for sort of the base color of the Dynaman tribute. And then I used some more Vallejo Model Air paints, and then supplemented that with some Citadel acrylic paints. Woo, can't really see that, but I assure you that is Citadel Lead Belcher right there. And so these are a little thicker acrylic paints, so you got to make sure to thin them down, but I was used to using them for painting Warhammer. And so, yeah, I'm really excited that this project came out as well as it did. So wanted to make this video as sort of a showcase and something that I can look back at and kind of remind myself where I was spring of 2023. Hope you enjoyed watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, and hope to hear from you.